All right, let's dive in and crack the code on German pronunciation. You've probably heard it all before, right? That it sounds harsh, it's guttural, and just plain impossible to get right. But is that really the whole story? I get it. You look at those super long words and just think, no way. A lot of people feel that way. But what if I told you that its impossible reputation is, well, it's mostly a myth? Because here's the secret. German is incredibly phonetic. I mean, way more than English. Think about the chaos of words like though, through, and tough. German doesn't really do that. Once you learn a rule for a sound, it pretty much sticks. So let's crack this thing together. First things first, let's start with the alphabet. And I've got some great news for you. It's the same 26 letters you already use in English. That gives you a massive head start. There are just a few little twists in how some of them sound. Okay, let's hit the big ones that usually trip people up. The letter J is always going to sound like the yes in yes. So the German word for yes, ja, is pronounced ja. The V sounds like an F, so Vater, the word for father, is Vater. Meanwhile, the W sounds like a V, so Wasser, or water, is Wasser. And finally, the Z has this sharp ts sound, just like the end of the word cats. If you can just nail these four, you're going to sound so much more natural right off the bat. And now for the fun part. This is where German really gets its unique character. We're talking about 4 special letters, 3 vowels that have 2 little dots over them, those are called umlauts, and 1 really cool-looking consonant. Now, they might look a little intimidating, but trust me, they're just signposts for very specific sounds. So what are these 2 little dots actually doing up there? They're called umlaut, and they're basically a built-in pronunciation guide. Fun fact, they actually came from a tiny letter E that used to be written over the vowel, which over time just got simplified into 2 dots. Let's start with the easiest one, the E. Guess what? It's a sound you already make all the time. It's basically the E sound in words like bed or bet. And that's it. See? You've already mastered your first umlaut. Not so bad, right? Let's hear it in a few words. You have Männer. Äpfel, Käse. You hear that sound? It's pretty straightforward. Okay, now for a sound we don't really have in English. But don't worry, we can build it. First, just make the sound from the word bird. Go ahead and hold it. Now, while you're making that sound, just round your lips like you're about to say O. O. That's the sound right there. Let's hear it in context. Listen to these words. Schön, hören, Öl. You can almost feel how your lips are shaping that sound, right? It's all about that mouth position. And our last umlaut is the oo. We're going to build this one too. Start with a long E sound, like you're saying the word see. Hold it. E. Now, keep making that exact sound, but purse your lips really tight, almost like you're about to whistle. E-U. The sound is still coming from the front of your mouth, but your lips give it that unique German twist. Let's practice. Here are a few words. 5, Brücke, Müll. It can be a little tricky at first, but just remember those 2 steps. Start with the E sound, then add the whistling lips. And finally, we have this letter, the eszett. Yeah, it kind of looks like a capital B, but it's not. It's just a sharp S sound, like the sound in hiss. And if you're ever typing and can't find it, no problem. Just use a double S instead. It's as simple as that. So when do you use the bes versus a regular SS? The rule is actually pretty simple. It all comes down to the vowel right before it. The bes comes after a long vowel, like in Fuß. A double S comes after a short vowel, like in Fluss. Hear that? Fuß, Fluss. The spelling itself is telling you how to say the word. Okay, so we've covered the individual letters. Now, let's level up and see what happens when they team up. Think of these sound combinations as your secret weapon for really nailing the pronunciation. Here's your little cheat sheet. SCH will always be a sh sound, like in Tisch. Now watch out for this next one. EI is pronounced I, like in eins. But IE is pronounced E, as in sieben. See how they're basically the opposite of what you might expect in English? Then you have EU and EU, both make an oi sound, like in the word Deutsch. And a really fun one. At the beginning of a word, SP and ST become SHP and SHT. So Spat is Speit and Stadt is Stadt.
But quick heads up on that sh and sh rule. It only works at the beginning of a word or a syllable. If you see sta at the end of a word, like in fast, it just goes back to the regular s sound. And now for the infamous ch sound. It actually has two different versions, and the vowel that comes before it tells you exactly which one to use. So after front vowels, like I or e, it's a soft hissing sound that you make in the front of your mouth, ish. But after back vowels like a, o, or u, you get that guttural sound from the back of your throat. Think of the ch in the Scottish word loch. So you have ish versus buch. It's a huge difference. Okay, for our final section, I've got a pro tip for you. This is something that will take your accent to a whole new level. It's all about the German R, which, just like the ch, kind of has a split personality. At the start of a word, you get that classic guttural R that sounds a bit like you're gargling. You hear it in words like Rom or Bruder. But, and this is the secret, at the end of a syllable, that R totally transforms. It softens into a vowel sound, almost like a short A. So the word wer sounds more like vea, and lehrer is like lehrer. It's a really subtle change, but it is absolutely key to sounding more natural. So let's just do a quick recap of the cheat codes we've unlocked today. Remember, W sounds like V, V sounds like F, and J sounds like Y. Don't be afraid of the umlauts. You can build those sounds using physical cues. The whole schra versus SS thing just depends on how long the vowel is, and the R has two different sounds depending on where it is in the word. And there you go. You now have the keys to German pronunciation. It's not about being perfect from day one. It's about understanding that there's a system behind it all. The code is cracked. So the only question left is, what's the first German word you're going to say?